Yo,
What's up,
so
brother?
we're gonna do we're gonna do a couple more military stories.
Hell yeah.
Um, don't have an infinite amount of these, but I've got enough for a minute. Um,
Hell-
one of my favorite ones is from like my SEER course. I can't talk too much on SEER since it's a classified course, but there's one part that is pretty funny that I can talk about,
Hell yeah.
and that's so when we were out in the field, they gave us chickens and like rabbits. Um, that we would have to kill to basically turn into food, and it was kind of like the idea is like you do whatever you have to survive in the field kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they had like brought these chickens and rabbits out there, and one day they brought us out like away from the camp, and they're like, "All right, so who here has never killed an animal before?" And me being a little bit too eager as a young airman, to like be like, I haven't, naive. Like I wasn't thinking like that would be immediate. Like, okay, cool, you're killing this animal kind of thing. But me and another airman raised our hands, and so the instructor goes, "What's your job?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a gunner." And he's like, "No, no, we can't have a gunner that's never killed an animal before." So he gave me the chicken, and the other guy got the rabbit. And so this other airman goes up, and then like the instructor's telling him like, "Okay, so you're gonna take this stick, and you're gonna like hit the back of the rabbit's like neck to try to kill it."
Thumper!
And like and I'm just he's like me at this time. He's like got that like fucking wide-eyed look in his eyes, like, "Oh fuck, I don't really want to do this." But so he goes for the hit on the rabbit once he's actually got like a hold of him, and instead he hits the rabbit on like the top of the fucking cranium, and you just hear that loud fucking crack of it hitting the skull, and then the fucking rabbit. I didn't know rabbits could scream,
Oh, oh.
like whatever the rabbit noise for screaming is. And like so, this guy immediately freaks out and he just starts going bah, 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 like, missing the skull. He's like he's hitting the head again. He's hitting the shoulder blades, and this thing's just screaming the entire time. And eventually, he fucking hits it like right in the fucking spine area, and it fucking like just kills it.
Oh,
And
dude.
like both everyone there was just like, "Oh fuck," because it was brutal.
Fucking A, man.
And I'm like, okay, that's not what I'm going to let happen here. Because I just seen, basically animal cruelty.
Fucking animal murder, dude. Oh my god. Thumper, no!
And so he's like, all right, come up, grab your chicken. And so he's showing me how to handle the chicken. He's like, all right, you grab it by the neck, put your head on top of its
Yeah.
head. And, okay, so what you're going to do is you're gonna twist and pull. And I'm like, okay, that's simple enough. I can do this without fucking up. And so yeah, I start. He's like, all right, ready when you are. And I'm like, okay. And I fucking go, and I don't know for whatever reason it didn't register to me that I would hear like popping of ligaments and bones. So like I go like a half turn into this, and like I just hear the ligaments tearing and the fucking bones cracking, and like I'm like, oh fuck. And I stop, and then the chicken had been docile up to this point, and then it starts freaking out, and I'm freaked out. And he's like, "Well, fucking don't leave it like that. Fucking like continue."
Oh, dude.
And so like I fucking full turn, rip the head off, and I'm like fucking freaked. And so
Oh
like
my.
eventually like I like open up my palm to see the fucking chicken head there, and like I'm slowly like relaxing a little bit, and as soon as I relax, like my grip relaxes on the chicken's neck, and I hear a and
Oh!
it was like fucking reality had just broken for me.
Fucking ghost chick, dude.
And the instructor kind of like tilts his head and looks at me. He's like, "Oh, I've never seen that before. The vocal cords are still in the neck."
Bro.
That was the trapped air in the lungs of the chicken escaping through the vocal cords and making it bark.
Oh my god, bro. I thought you were gonna be like, and I saw the head in my hand, and I got the taste for blood. Fucking A, man. Woo!
Yeah. So that was something that was pretty nutty that happened that I can talk about in
Oh,
Sear. There's a lot of other nuttier stuff that happened there, but I can't talk on that stuff.
Fucking hell, man.
Speaking of another fucking funny chicken story in the military, when I first got to Kandahar, I was at Camp J, and our DFAC over there was the North Line. And all the people there at Camp J were just raving about this chicken ball. It's the best. Like, you have to get it. You have to get it, Struggle. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll try this out. And it really was. It was just like these little balls of chicken that put on my plate. Like a chicken nugget? And I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I thought. What I didn't realize, and no one had told me, is that it was injected with like mayonnaise or ranch. I think it was ranch. And so I put my plate down, or my tray down, and I grab a chicken ball off the plate, and I bite into it, and this fucking hot gush fluid just shoots into the back of my fucking throat.
Chicken ball.
And like, I wasn't expecting that, and I like the only thing I can think of like when it did that was I thought like immediately like the horror stories of like McDonald's chicken.
Yeah,
you know,
when
like,
it's fucking uncooked in the middle.
And so like immediately I just like this full body gag like just fucking hot fucking chicken ball with ranch
chicken ball
shooting into the back of my throat. I got money shotted by a chicken ball.
Oh, that's fucking disgusting. These are fucking fun to hear because I've never heard them. So I'm genuinely intrigued. I love it, dude.
And so on our first deployments, the new guys, like the first strippers, they were the ones that had to drive the buses.
Yeah.
And these buses were not automatic. They were stick shift. Mm-hmm. And I had never driven stick shift before joining the military. And so one of the I think it was my aircraft commander and my lead gun, and they took me out to the parking lot, and they had me drive around the parking lot, you know, a couple times with the stick shift to try to get me, you know, comfortable with it. And then they're like, okay, cool, it sounds like you're good. You're going to drive us to the DFAC.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really don't feel comfortable with this, but let's do it.
Okay.
But I got over to the DFAC fine,
yeah.
You know, like I was hitting the right gears, shifting at the right times.
That's the first time you drove that thing? Like.
Yeah, it was like the first time I'd driven stick and driven this bus. And it was like a really shitty bus, like...
no, really?
It's not like the buses it's not like the buses you're thinking of. It's not like a school bus. It was like one of the, like, you know, like the flat front buses and...
Got
like,
no fucking windows or no AC, like just...
Well, I mean, it had windows. We didn't use the AC.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking one of them was from all the way back in Kosovo. They kept it. It was called the Green Machine.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And this thing had, like, traveled with us all the way from, like... Kosovo to Iraq to Afghanistan.
Made it.
Rest in peace, Green Machine.
Yeah.
Wherever you are. That's a story in and of itself. I'll tell afterwards. But so we leave the DFAC and we come around like these the HESCO barriers, and we drive down like what almost is like a half pipe, but it's really just dirt, you know, for drainage. And so I'm driving down this fucking half pipe, and I'm like somehow ending up in like third, fourth gear in this fucking bus. So we're just flying down this dirt half pipe, and they're like, "Fucking slow down, Struggle, fuck." and like, so I like slightly brake, and then like I whip this bus onto the fucking main road, and like. I'm pretty sure, like, it almost, like, fucking, like, one of the wheels, like, almost came off. Like, you get that feeling, like, where it almost, like, lurches. Like, I almost fucking flipped this damn bus. Bro. But, like, I ended up stabilizing. It was fine. But then, like, I was, like, they were, like, still, like, yelling at me, "Fucking slow down, you fucking idiot!" And so, like, I fucking go from that gear. I go from, like, third or fourth, like, straight to first. And then that thing just starts fucking, like, lurching. And then with like the fucking like the stop on it and everything, and then they're like yelling at me like, "You fucking idiot, like fucking put it back into second." And like so I'm switching back from like first to fucking third, and so this thing's just like lurching down the road like about to fucking stall, and it was the perfect timing because these Marines were coming out of like their fucking camp, and so it's like a whole gaggle of like fucking 40, 50 fucking Marines, and like I'm like, we're all fucking like bouncing, stalling in this fucking bus, and they're like, my fucking lead gun's in the back. He's like, "Don't you fucking stall out this fucking bus, Struggle."
Oh, dude.
Don't you fucking stall out in front of these Marines.
Man, you said R.I.P. Green Machine,
And-
but he failed to mention that you killed it. Oh, dear.
But yeah, so like I'm lurching, like I'm trying to shift gears, and eventually like it just fucking, the bus takes all it can handle, and it just fucking stalls out, and we just come to like a fucking like comedic like slide stop like right in front of all these Marines, and my lead gun, he just walks up there and he's just like, get the fuck out of the seat.
Dude, how did you even end up driving? Was like, was everybody on fucking morphine or something? Like, what the fuck?
No, it was just that the new guys were the ones who had to drive.
Oh god, dude.
It was just the responsibility of the younger dudes to do it.
Dude,
And-
I can just see your face in that moment. You're just like panic focused, like.
Oh, dude, I felt about yay fucking Paul, you know.
Dude, I'm fucking crying over here.
And I lost my driving privileges after that. That was the responsibility of the new guys to drive, and they never let me drive again on that trip. It might have also been that like a week and a half later that like the automatic 15 packs van, I rear-ended another van in the parking lot. I was kind of a shit show on my first deployment, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, bro. I love it. I've never heard that story, and I fucking loved it. Oh my god. You just said he whipped this bitch onto the main road, fucking barely stayed on 4 wheels. Oh, shit.
But but on the Green Machine. So when they were shutting down in Kandahar, later on, they wanted to save this Green Machine and bring it back to the States because this thing had been with us for fucking so long. So they were pulling some drug deals, not real drug deals, we were calling them drug deals, to like try and like, you know, basically bribe someone to put this fucking Green Machine onto like a C-17 going back to the States. And they had gotten it somehow, they'd gotten the paperwork all worked out, gotten the Green Machine on a fucking flight out of a fucking Bagram to go back to the States, and apparently like the loadmasters were like, why the fuck are we transporting this piece of shit? And so apparently it didn't go and like just disappeared somewhere in Bagram.
Just, wow, rest in peace, Green Machine.
Just rest in peace, Green Machine. Or it might have disappeared in Kandahar. We don't know. It just...
Bro.
We got it there, and it just disappeared.
I love that you fucking guys all loved it so much, and then all they had to do was be like, what the fuck? Get the fuck... What the hell is that? This dusty, broken...
Oh, dude, it was so dusty. Like, the fucking, like, some of the paint was, like, really faded. I mean, this thing was, like 2-3 decades old, fucking... Maybe not that old, but it was, like... It was way past its fucking prime.
He said, don't wash it. It's part of the dirt. That's the nostalgia. This fucking thing is just crusted. And...
But we were going to bring it back to the States, to Herbert Field, and we were going to turn it into a party bus.
Of course
that we were going to keep parked at the 4th SOS.
Of course you were.
And so, yeah, we were going to drive. We were going to have like a designated driver who was going to drive around like gunners or whoever wanted to go out that night as like a fucking party bus.
That plan.
We were probably gonna deck it out with some lights and stuff in the inside.
Maybe wash it.
Maybe wash it.
Fuck, dude.
Hey baby, you want to party with us? Get on the party bus.
The Green Machine. This thing is just barely hanging on. Oh fuck, dude.
But
that was fucking incredible.
there was another thing that we like to do with our buses, is we would turn the windshield wipers facing out to the left, and when we drive by like those Marines that I mentioned, or like anyone that was walking along that main road, we would fucking hit the fucking the fluid, for the windshield wipers, and we would just spray at them, and we would just be like, gunship drive by.
It just like.
We were basically pretending we were flying the fucking gunship while we're driving these buses and just like fucking spraying people like we were shooting them in like pylon turns and shit.
Man, you were in it. You were in the lifestyle. I love it, bro. I've never heard that story. I fucking like actually got belly laughs from that shit, dude. What the fuck? I can literally see that panic ass face where you're just like coming off the fucking dirt, like slamming it into first. Oh shit.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
hey,
dude.
you just learned to drive this bus 15 minutes ago. Okay, cool. Let's.
Yeah, you just learned to. I got over there fine.
Oh my god.
But they got what they paid for in that training.
I fucking love it, man. Man, driving an old car is really something, huh? It's like a totally.
They also gave us like deployed flight line badges or access badges to get onto the flight line, and so like one of the older dudes on my first deployment was like, take a goofy photo, struggle, you know, fucking do it. I bet you won't. And so I actually went in there, sat down, and was like, you know, and that they actually fucking took the photo, printed it out on my access badge. And so, like, anytime I drove onto the flight line before I got my driving privileges taken away, deployed, you know, I'd flash it to someone and just be my photo or whatever.
Fuck yeah.
I tried getting another access badge. I actually wanted to keep that thing, but they obviously confiscated it at the end of a trip.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. We had a rat infestation on one of the gunships once.
Fuck, you were flying with rats?
No. Of course not.
Shit.
So like we kept like pallets of like not pallets, like the little boxes of MREs on the plane, so that like if you were hungry in flight and you hadn't been able to go to the chow hall, you could just crack open one of these MREs, eat something real quick, and be good to go. But we had this term called rat fucking. You know, somebody who opens up an MRE package, you know, gets the fucking M&Ms out of it and just basically throws the bag back in rather than take out the whole MRE, you know, eat what they can and dispose of it. So it was called rat fucking, where you take the best stuff out of an MRE and put it back.
Fucking M&Ms.
And so what happened is there were so many open MREs on this fucking one of these gunships, is that fucking, you know, rats and stuff smelled this, got into the plane, and then the maintainers found rats on the plane, and they fucking like, I'm forgetting the term for it. I believe it was, they impounded it? No, that's not right. They grounded the plane to where, they actually had to come out and like fucking like, basically like de-infest this fucking plane.
Rat vomit or something?
Of rat vomit or something.
Who was the fucking rat fucker of the fucking MREs? Everybody?
Just about everyone. Although after that, basically it was like a hard policy. Like if you take an MRE out, you either eat that shit or you fucking throw it away.
Yeah. Fucking A. Or bring a bag of trail mix, man. Do you like MREs?
They're not bad. I mean, you can taste the fucking sodium count in that shit.
Yeah, that's like to preserve it, right?
There's stuff that has no business being salty. Like there's some of the cookies in there. You fucking unwrap that, fucking take a bite in it, and you can just taste the salt in it, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Is that for the
you know what?
is that to preserve it, or is that for like new like?
It's to preserve. It's to help the shelf life of the MREs to like extend them.
I was wondering if it was like to like, you know, give you the vital nutrients you need or something.
Oh, I mean, there's also like I'm sure some studies on like what's best for the warfighter or whatever. But I mean, those things also say on them is not for consumption, but by anyone other than fucking military and prisoners.
What? It says that on the packaging.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it does on the packaging. Yeah.
You guys must live very similar lifestyles, I suppose, right? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, they just don't care about they don't care about our long-term health.
That's fine.
They don't care how many bricks we pass. They don't care how many bricks pass through our colons. Because I don't know who has experience with an MRE, but yeah, that shit comes out like bricks.
It's just so dry and just like pure protein. It's just like
the salt also just absorbs all that moisture.
It's fucking like scorched earth warfare in your fucking lower intestine.
On your colon. Scorched earth warfare
Salt
on your colon.
everything. Fucking A.
And that was the exact opposite of surf and turf day. You didn't want to go to the toilets after surf and turf for a couple hours.
Oh.
Because people would be going through a colon cleanse.
Yeah, like what surf are you getting in the middle of the desert? What surf is that?
Yeah. That's what they always made a joke about. It's like we're in a landlocked country. You don't really want to eat the fucking lobster, especially when that lobster's coming to you on fucking C-130 and C-17 and C-5 transport planes, where you know that it's not really that well refrigerated.
Bro. Oh, dude, it's not refrigerated at all. It's like in a hot tin box, just for hours and hours and hours.
One of my favorite stories, and I wasn't around for this. I guess I wouldn't say it's a favorite story because I just don't want to like color it that way. But gunships got the entire supply line from Pakistan shut down for Afghanistan. Like a lot of our foodstuffs, our drinks, like a ton of stuff came through supply lines, like the ground supply lines from Pakistan. Yeah. But there was a gunship mission on the border of Pakistan with Afghanistan where there accidentally, or I don't know how this happened, but there ended up being a firefight between the Afghans and I want to say it was American forces, and the gunship ended up not recognizing that it was Pakistan forces, so they ended up shooting the Pakistani border patrol. And so Pakistan got really fucking pissed and shut off the supply lines, basically was holding them hostage for like, an apology for this.
Fuck.
And so I think it was my first or second trip when I arrived there, like the fucking chow halls were like, it was real shitty. It was beans and rice and shit like that, like that you could get. Like, oh yeah, you like yogurt on your deployment trips? Yeah, there's no yogurt. Which I'm sure if there's like like an army dude listening to this, he's like, oh boo-hoo, Air Force. Because they're used to eating MREs in the field. But yeah.
Nothing, but you're like mad.
If anyone watches this and they were in Kandahar at that time frame and they were ever wondering, or Bagram too, and they're wondering why the supply lines were such shit, it was because of that Pakistani border patrol shoot.
Wow. Fuck yeah. I love it.
Oh man. Appreciate you guys sticking around, watching some of these stories, and see you next time.
Peace, boys.